Muldiansyah. He is Harits Hanif. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, Mr. Agu and people friends of everybody. On this beautiful morning, if you don't know this, then you don't know. So introduce my group. I am Alya Ramadhina, absent 3. She is Siti, Meldi, Pijianti, absent 31. She is Dzikra, Amalia, Huda, absent 5. 9. Aulia, Anwary, absent 21, 22, and she is Asiyah Sofia, absent 5, absent 5, and Aventia, Putri, absent 6.
Okay, so this we serve as a fundamental source of financial support, ensuring that school can maintain high education standard, compensate teacher fairly, improve facility, and provide additional learning opportunities for students. While some argue that education should be free, structural fee payments play a vital role in sustaining a high quality learning environment.
School fees play a crucial role in providing students with access to high-quality learning materials. After that, textbooks and modern technology such computer and project is also maintain well-equipped classroom, creating a more engaging and effective learning environment. Fund quality from school is ensure that teachers receive fair and competitive salaries. They also support an ongoing training professional development programs, enabling doctors to stay updated with latest teaching methods and deliver the best possible education to students. School fees contribute to the maintenance and improvement of school facility, including classroom, fund curriculum, science and computer laboratories, and stock libraries. This is facility like hospital or supporting student academic growth and overall learning experience.
School fees support various extracurricular activities such as sport, art, and leadership programs that help students develop social skills, teamwork, and creativity. Creativity skills essential for their future. These activities allow a student to explore their interests and talents, boosting their confidence and preparing them for challenge in the workforce and social life. Financial contribution for parents and students can foster sense of responsibility and commitment to education. When families invest in education, students are after more discipline and appreciative of the learning process.
The government
such as the technology, teacher training, and educational facility. School fees help maintaining the quality and sustainability of the education as a long day are managed transparently and fairly.
Okay, I will answer your statement. I would just say like free education within the government budget. If government can allocate a massive budget for infrastructure and energy subsidies, why can't they prioritize education? Why? Isn't it education investment that has 99% chance of success to improve the country? A well-educated population contributes to economic growth and innovation, reducing financial burden in the future. So this is investment that can improve our country too, that can improve the country to become more success. So why do you say that education becomes a burden for the government? Okay, because many countries like Norway and Finland successfully provided free education without collapsing their economies. So why we cannot do that? That's just wrong. Thank you.
Okay, I argument two. So you say that school fees help improve teacher salaries. So why should students be responsible for paying teachers? Isn't that the government's job? In countries with free education, teachers still receive privileges because the government probably funds school. So why should in Indonesia, students should be responsible for paying teachers' salary? Isn't that government job? Okay. So teacher get money from the government, but is the many teachers are negligent in teaching because their salary are small. But if we have quality teacher and we pay school fee, it will be more efficient. Like the teacher will teaching the student with effective, yeah.
Teacher salaries should be covered by the national budget, not by study fees. Education is a public good, and teachers should be compensated for their work. The government, not the student.
Okay, I will give POI for argument three. You just say in the argument that school fee ensure better education quality, right? Why should students have to pay for quality education? The government ensure that all students achieve a good education regardless of their financial background, right? Students just for if school fees exist, only wealthy students will access quality education, while less privileged students are left behind. Why you argument with that? Because you just say like just the wealthy student that can access the quality education, and other students that can access the quality education, the more expensive they can pay any for free school, they can get education. How about that?
We understand the contour, but school fee help ensure that extracurricular program have the proper resources and qualified coach. That activities can provide which can be addressed to meet these needs. Okay, there are approximately 24 million poor people in Indonesia. They are not even sure what they will eat every day. And so you just saying that they can get a good education just because they can pay for the fee school, right? Because the fee school is the right for every student in Indonesia. That's for me.
Okay, platforms for this guarantee the stability of program like sport and divide and leadership training essential for character development.
Sorry, but you just going around with the circle at point and half answer. And if physical exists, I just say that only well student will access quality education while last private student are left behind. Instead of charging student, isn't it that government should be improve budget management to ensure school receive formal funding? Okay, I just say that a lot of people, poor people in Indonesia, they can get a good education just because they can afford the fee school. They can afford the fee school. And you just say that good quality. They even didn't get an education. How can they get good quality for education? Okay, that you just select the fee school, quality education. You should improve your mindset for that. Thank you. Actually, my friend has already answered this, but I will explain it again. Should access to arts, sports, and leadership programs depend on a family's income? Are low-income students less deserving of this opportunity? Can the government fund extracurricular to ensure all students benefit? Dokumen 4 ya.
Okay. This will also offer subsidies or like fees for students in IB. So opportunities remain available for everyone for discipline and responsibility. Financial contribution is not the only factor, but it can help foster a sense of ownership and appreciation for the learning process. When families invest in education, they often become more engaged, which positively impact students' motivation.
Okay, and the staying school free truly guarantees the student responsibility, or does it just create pressure and instability? I will give UI for argument 5. You say that financial from private student
help people to gain skills and knowledge to create new idea, improve technology and find solution. A well-educated workforce can also attract business and investment, creating job opportunities and driving economic growth. In this situation, people can have a stable financial situation, so they have a better life. And last argument, preventing social inequality. Education can play a critical role in promoting social equality. It can provide individuals for disadvantaged background with the opportunity to gain the skill and knowledge they need to success. When education and accessible to everyone, it can help break down social and economic barrier and create a more equal and just society.
Okay. While it is true that the government holds responsibility for providing education, it does not mean that schools solve the plan entirely on government funding. In reality, government budgets are often limited and cannot fully cover all the needs of every school. School fee serve as a supplement to enhance quality beyond the basic standard. With school fee, school can improve infrastructure after extracurricular and provide access to better technology, which will of course be unfavorable.
I will answer your eye. So, if governments can allocate massive budget for infrastructure and subsidies, why can they prioritize education? Education is an investment. A well-educated population contributes to economic growth and innovation, reducing financial burdens in the future. Many countries like Norway and Finland successfully provide free education without costing their economies.
Yes, we understand that the one side although the government responsibility solve the no, but we have to stay realistic. Even if education is correct, the right must come with quality, not just success. And then school fees play a role. Let's be honest. Free education without resources is meaningless. What good is free education if classroom overcrowded, books are out there, and teachers are underpaid? We are not asking families to carry out the burden. We are saying Let's work together. School fees, especially we adjust based on family income. Allow for shared responsibility. Those who can afford a little more help leave the work system. Moreover, schools that rely only on government fund are often stuck in outpricing delays. But with additional school fees, they can respond faster to student needs, updating labs, repairing classrooms, or starting programs that will take more to get approved. So the point we made, government funding is important, but it is not. School fees are the bridge between basic access and high quality education.
Allow me to add, it was discussed earlier that Sweden and other countries are developed countries of free education can be successful implement, but in Indonesia, the government has not yet success in getting free education, and its priority is the free food, not free education.
Okay. I will answer your statement. Thank you. If government can allocate much budget for infrastructure and subsidies, why they can prioritize education? Harits just say the answer is because it's the right for every citizen, and it's the government responsibility to fund school instead of placing a burden on students and parents. It's not just our statement, but it also stated in Constitution or Undang-Undang Dasar Negara Indonesia tahun 1945, Artikel 31 paragraph 1 and 2 that say clear that education must be covered by the government. It's just not our statement. It's already stated in 1945 Constitution. Okay, so this is clear that education must be covered full by the government and not by the student or parents. Thank you.
Okay. Here, I want to go for argument 3. You say school fee, because school fee because you learn to grow out of school. Okay, so the main problem is not the excess of fees, but rather the unfair management and subsidy assistance system. With a flexible fee system, for example, using the principle of cross subsidy, students from wealth of families can help support who are least well off. This is much fairer and more sustainable than eliminating fees altogether and leaving schools underfunded.
I will answer your second. Do you know the main problem of students who drop out? It's because they don't have money to pay for school fees. If school fees exist, only one student will access quality education while less privileged students are left behind.
Okay, so that expresses why school needed a fair system and supervision. We do not even begin and burdensome school fees. We develop flexible and human school fees, where underprivileged students can be free or charged or assisted by the school. With proper management, no child will be left
I will answer your statement.
boiled and open table school finance system. That way, parents know where the money is being spent, and school can misuse funds.
Sorry, I cannot understand your statement. Can you repeat?
Yes, was expansion occurs not because of school fees, but because of a lot of transparency and supervision. The solution is not to eliminate fees, but to build an open and accountable school finance system. That way, parents know where their money is being spent, and schools can use these funds. Those funds. Yes.
Okay. I will answer your argument. But I will say clear. But from our argument, it is not because there are school fees that there is corruption. Okay. But because there are school fees, that there is a high level possibility of corruption. Okay, this is not because there's school fees, so there's corruption. No, but because school fees make more high level possibility of corruption. That is.
Okay. One of the top opportunities for exploration is the lack of transparency, not the exercise of fee. Even without school fee, exploration can still occur in other forms. Therefore, we not only support the access of school fees, but also encourage a system of transparency and parental participation in monitoring funds.
Okay. My friend said it is to prevent. It does not mean that without school fees there will be corruption. So it would be better if there were school fees to avoid the possibility of corruption. I have said this is to prevent. It does not mean that without school fees there will be no corruption. So it will be better if there were no school fees to avoid the possibility of corruption.
Education is a key to overcoming poverty, but quality is the most important factor. If our education is free but the quality is low, students will not have the skill needed by the world of work. With reasonable and target-based school can provide training, technology, and professional teachers who will create productive and independent generation.
There is no clear evidence that free education leads to a lack of appreciation. Many underprivileged students value education simply because they know how important it is for their future. Are
But here, the important point, only quality education has that provided. If school have no money to invest in technology, teacher training, teaching material, and comfortable classroom and comfortable classroom. Students want get skill they need to compete in the job market. School fees when used properly help ensure that students are not just learning ground. This prepares them to find better jobs. Status needs or pursue high education, all of which can help live their families out of poverty.
That's the government job to be proper funding.
think about the children's future. So before you wanna have some children, you gonna think the future about the children you have in the future.
So now you think about government budget, right? If government can allocate massive budget for infrastructure and necessities, why cannot they prioritize education? Okay, education is investment. Already said before. But the future of students is also the future of our country. Why cannot they provide a budget for education which is the profitable investment? Okay, because with proper financial planning, the government can ensure stable funding for school. Even economic fluctuates, education should be treated like a business that is under cost profits.
Some statements. So, education is a basic right, not a product to buy. Even if parents plan, life can be unpredictable. Should children suffer just because their parents face financial hardship?
Because the government will not be able to cover free education for millions of children. The government has many things that need to be considered, not just education. The government needs to define its budget. And the government is currently not prioritizing education. So the parents thinks independent of the future of their children. Because the children's first thing is pure. Is the first residency of parental
They should be pushed the government to increase the education budget instead of putting the burden on families. Isn't it unfair to really on students to feel the debt? I will add some statements. The government already has a large budget through national funding, school operational assistance, and CCR programs. The issue isn't a lack of money. It's about how the money is managed. So the solution isn't to burden families, but to fix the system and ensure transparency.
In conclusion, while education is a basic right, the role of school is in supporting and improving educational institutions cannot be ignored. These are crucial investment to ensure that school provide quality education. Competent teacher and educative facility. Without sufficient financial support, school may fail to maintain academic standards, impact both students and education by contributing to school fees. We help with optional learning and the moment where students can school maintain high standard and teachers pay monthly. Therefore, school fees should be seen as a shared responsibility and investment in a better future.
because they know how important